Welcome to Radio Fixer's channel. Subscribe for upcoming videos. Welcome back. This is a part 4 of the final video for restoring Halton radio. In this portion, we're going to document the tube layout since we do not have the schematic, and it always is a good idea to do that. I'm going to examine the chassis to see what's going on with it. And then we're going to actually test the radio. And we change the large, capacitors and the radios, and repair the speaker. And we're going to clean the tubes. The tubes is really bad condition. Install a new capacitors inside the old paper capacitors. And then we're going to lubricate the variable capacitor and also volume control. We're going to, again, after that, test the radio. And finally, we're going to install the chassis back in the cabinet and then test it again. Let's talk about some safety issue. You're dealing with electricity. It's very dangerous. It can kill you, so be very careful, please. I need a few equipment that you can purchase it in Amazon. First one, you must have isolated transformer to keep you safe when you're working in the antique radios, and also variable condenser, or they call it variac. You can actually adjust the amount of electricity comes inside the radio. And this one, the dim bulb tester, you can actually build this yourself. You can Google it. There's tons of information out there. This is the setup I'm using on my workbench. Please make sure to use this equipment to keep you safe. This is a few pictures to show the condition of this radio before restoring it. Here is a speaker transformer. I need to test all this thing to see if they're working or not. Speaker is not bad, has a few holes. You know that we can fix that. We fixed it in other project, and usually just see if the speaker moves. Yeah, there's a movement, so it's not frozen. So that should be able to fix that. I'm going to do also on test on it. Make sure there is a continuity, or there is a on. It has a reading. And here, a tube just sitting here by itself. Oh, I guess this tube came out of here. Yeah. Somebody actually taped this. It's broken here. That can be soldered back. Yeah, they taped this. Would you believe that? Right? He used just a regular electrical tape to fix this. That is crazy. So let me do some cleaning here. It needs some cleaning, and this is how underneath. It's pretty close to the other one I restored. I assume is because I'm looking capacitor, everything here. This should be easy fix. And if nothing, I'm gonna check everything with a voltmeter. I'm pretty excited to work on this one. Again, to see there's dust and dirt everywhere. It is great cleaning. See how dirty it is. Yeah. Alright. Here's, I assume, a bunch of dirt. Let's see if these tubes they work or not. If they work, that's going to be great. here the other side, so you see all sides. But actually we're going to do this, so it needs a lot of cleaning, which is not a big deal. That can be fixed, can be taken care of. All right, at least all the parts are here. I just noticed that this piece here was soldered to here. I need to find a better way of doing it instead of just soldering it. Guess this was sitting right here, like that. Yeah, definitely it was sitting this way because you see here is rust, is the top section, and here is a bunch of solder. Yeah, I'm speaking going to be another project. Put the knob aside. I need to bag them and mark them. Tons of paper. Oh, this paper, it was actually the schematic that something actually ate it. This is a piece of the schematic that usually they put inside the cabinet. So that's what the majority of those paper was. Yeah, I want to take it outside, use the air compressor just to blow everything out so they don't get inside the house. Then maybe that's the best way to take care of it. Yeah, let me do that, then I will be back. What I'm doing, trying to document this because I don't have a schematic. And always, even if you have a schematic, I usually like to document it to see where the tubes goes, all those things. Make a simple drawing, then try to take one by one the tubes out and mark them here, so make my job easier. All right, and we have also another there. That's it, and this is of course going to be where the speaker is. So let's see the first tube. Actually, the best way I pull it out, and instead of damaging this, I'm just going to underneath and loosen it like that. I loosen up, then I can take it out much easier. Okay, this one already tried to clean the chassis outside with, as much as I could. Use the blower and blow all the dust out. So this one is a 12 SA7. So that's 12 SA7. I'm going to put it aside. And let's go take this one on board. There's one more tube here. This should be the power tube. And this one is 50L6. All right. It seems like it's 12S. I cannot read the rest. The rest is so hard to see. I need to find some radios with 5 tubes to see what they use. Is this? I know it's a 12. I see 12. I think it's a S, but I'm not sure. I cannot read the other marking. I'm going to put this aside. Let's see what the other one. It's so hard to come out. All right, that's good. I can read the mark. It is 12SK7. So this one was 12SK7. I'm sorry, this one was 12S. 12S, the rest I couldn't read. This is the power one. So I'm going to put this aside. Now, this is the tube that actually, as you notice, it was inside, laying inside. So let's see if I read the marking. That is good. That's easy to read. Is I think is a 35Z5. Is that 25 or 35? Yeah, clear that. I think it's 35. Should be 35Z5. I'm going to test all these tubes. So I'm going to try to figure this one out. If I'm sure if I look at one of the schematics, if they have this arrangement, that should be easy to find. For the other type of radio, it's a 5-tube radios. So let me do some online check. And I can add all this together. And if this is 25 or 35, I think it was 35. All right, let me check online. I checked, online, and with that tubes that I could not read. Of course, one of them was 35Z5, another is 12SQ7. I looked at for some type of schematics with 5 tubes that they have those other tubes. So it end up, I add all together right here. So this is the layout. So add all the voltage. It's 121 volts. So what I'm going to do now is going to check to see if there is any other parts, are they good or not. Let me put this here so you guys can see it as well. Let's see, it is sitting on ohm. So this is the secondary of the speaker transformer. There is no reading. Oh no, it is reading. Let me make a better connection. No, Secondary is fine, is working. That's good. Again, this is the speaker transformer. So that's working. Now I need to do testing other side of the primary as well. So I don't want to damage this. This is keep moving around. I might just underneath on solder this. Maybe find a better way of doing this so I don't damage anything. And that's good. This coil is also showing reading. That's really good. All right. So I'm just checking this work. That's awesome. And visually checking for everything before getting it started. And get the magnifying glass, be able to see inside. Also need to test the primary of the speaker. I can't find it. Don't have a good light here. Okay, there's one of them is right here. And the other one should go to the power. That is great. And so primary and secondary speaker transfer is working. That's great. All right. So I'm going to check everything before I hook it up to electricity. I also need to check the tubes before doing that. Make sure the tubes are okay. What I'm looking for is just if a bunch of this wire to be replaced. Just want to make sure they're not heading into the chassis. Yeah, this right here is the wire is heading against the chassis. Just moving it away from there because I need to change all those. All right, folks, I'm going to test all the tubes. One thing I just noticed about this 35Z5, just picked it up to test it, and I saw this is how it saw the piece is missing. I start looking around and I find the piece that I think when they were shipping it, that maybe the speaker transformer it had it and it broke it. So I'm gonna glue it back together, and test it to see if it still is good or not. Because this piece is just broken, Check inside, like the tube is fine. So I need to find my glue and glue this back together. I have another 35Z5 I'm going to use for this test. I'd like to fix this to see if it actually works or not. All right, so that's how it was broke off. I was wondering what this piece was actually when sitting here on my workbench. Now we know. I'm adding some Gorilla glue to this. I just test this tube, this 35Z5 my tube tester. It's in good condition. It's almost as 100. That's why I'm going to fix this. I'm just comparing it to another tube like this to make sure I put this pen in the right place. All right. After this dry up, so let me move this light. Perfect. That is what I use. Okay, this pen is in the place. Let's see if I can clean extra glue. All right, it's set. Perfect. Let it dry a little bit before installing it. I'm gonna go clean this. I want to go wash it. It's very dirty. Alright, this is the 35Z5 that I glued that piece was broken, and now it's in tube tester, and we're gonna test it. No shorted, and tube shows almost 100. That's amazing. The one was broken is in perfect condition. I cleaned the tube. Now I cleaned it. Much better now. Looks much better. I adjusted to 50 volts. It took a while. Again, I want to charge the capacitors, and I hear some. This is the other speaker, the other video that I restored. You hear it? Sound is coming off a speaker, and we are set at currently at 50 volts. Yeah, light bulb still is off. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to hook up, because lower voltage, this unit does not work with lower voltage. I'm going to hook this up so I can look at the amps as well. But at least right now we are at 50 volts and there's some sound that's coming out of a speaker. Alright, now we are in 60 volts and the bulb still is off, but you hear lots of noise comes from the speaker. The volume is all the way low. Even if I adjust it high, still same noise. That usually, my understanding, indicate that the capacitors, the large capacitors, are bad. Those need to be replaced. But at least the sound, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this off and start replacing those capacitors. I knew definitely those need to be changed, but just when I test it, you never know. Once in a while, after you just a little bit at a time, you know, you charge, the capacitors recharge and it works. Of course, they need to be replaced. Alright. Alright, it's amazing. I just put it, you know, I turn it on. Just add, you know, temporary the capacitors, those two capacitors, and here is working.
Just a year following a Charlie Brown Christmas, Halloween statues seemed off the charts when America went trick-or-treating with Charlie Brown. Here's executive producer of the Peanut.
What I did, I set this thing temporary and set up the antenna, and also add a couple of capacitors, and this amazing thing is working.
So that's how Linus ends up in the pumpkin patch.
Who are you writing to, Linus? This is the time of year to
It's
write to the
amazing.
great pumpkin.
That's the only thing needed. A couple of capacitors.
Pumpkin patch and fly through the air with this bag of toys.
Remember, the tubes were not good at all. I test, but they're working.
Something that isn't true. When you stop believing in that fellow with the red
And
suit and the
here
white
is
beard.
just the setup. This is great. I'm glad it was an easy fix. None of the regular paper capacitors need to be replaced because it sounds just unbelievable. Currently is running at 91 volts, and let me turn these things on. You know, the paper capacitor I'm not going to replace with resistors because it's working very well just with two. The main capacitors right now is on 91 volts and 0.17 amp, and the watt is 15.4.
Nurse, the sexy maid, the sexy anything. Clearly, a lot of women want to have a very sexy side of them.
Right now is about 100 volts and 0.19 amp.
Not surprisingly, alcohol plays a huge role in Halloween's popularity. So much so that by the 1990s, beer sales for Halloween surpassed both the Super Bowl and St. Patrick's Day. Halloween's popularity is also due to the fact that it embodies the American obsession with self-transformation, being who you aren't or who you would like to be.
Oh, what I did, took the capacitor off the radio and cut the wires off, you know, right to the end. And the value of this capacitor, I don't know if you're able to see this or not, is the red wire was 50 and yellow is at 30 and it's 150 volts. So I got a screwdriver, start, you know, turning, and broke all the seals. Then put usually a screw in, then when you put a screw to pull it out like that. Of course, you know how to take it out. Just you need to pull it. Anyway, this piece is out. So what the goal is to install these two capacitors, and one of them is a 47 because I cannot find 50, of course, and this one is a 33. So I'm going to install these two inside these capacitors and put this unit back in a radio. All right, so that's what the goal is next. So I'm going to work on this. Perfect. Both can fit here inside. So this is great. And what I'm going to just to use some, I use the glue gun and just glue here as well. It's looking good. But before I use the glue gun, I'm going to just test the radio to see if it works or not. This is awesome. All right, what I'm going to do, I got the glue gun out. This is the glue itself, a glue gun. I cut the small pieces and insert inside the capacitors because I don't want to fill up the entire, the this with the glue. Just I want to do just the top. So I'm going to cut a small piece like that. All right. Already have one inside. Try to insert this one here as well. All right. Stay secured like this. Put a couple of them like that. Then I'm going to use the glue gun and fill up the rest of the area, because I don't want the glue gun all the way down. It's too hot. Just want just the surface. So this is going to go right here. Still right here. The wires are fine. Okay, glue gun is ready. All right. Okay. I have a cheap solder gun. This I just used to for this type of work. I use the magnifying glass to see what I'm doing. I'm just making it everything level. If there is an excess, you can always take it out with this. Any extra glue, I can remove it. All right. And this is the capacitor. They're all inside. I can clean up here a little bit one too. All right, so I install like that. All right, these capacitors, both of them insert inside, and we are done with this. And to see if they're working or not. I'm using this product here to clean. What they did, they put some electrical tape to secure the transformer to the speaker, and it left a lot of residue. So I use a drop of that in the, and just I'm rubbing this off, clean it up. Whoops, it's got here. It's really clean very well. Okay, I'm gonna work in a speaker. What I did, I secured it, by. So when you work around a speaker, you have to be very careful. So I secured it with this, and I already cleaned it as much as I could with a little steel wool like that. Just gently, touch area, clean them. Now, also, because the speaker was, heavy in the past, they solder these two parts together like that. Of course, because it's too heavy, it broke off, and also the transformer was sitting in the top, that also broke off. So what I did, I put a hole, use a drill, put a hole through here, and also the bottom, put a hole as well. I'm going to use a rivet, one of these rivets, to rivet it, to support it to the chassis. And here for the speaker transformer up here, I put two holes. Also find a plate like that, put two holes. I'm going to use the rivet. And the good thing about this, found that in toolbox, of course, I straightened it up. I can cut just one piece out, use whatever side I want to. This is exactly fit into the transformer, so I can secure it. This it's lucky this fit exactly the size of transformer. So after put some, get rid of this rust. This I'm going to install it here, and the other one, and secure it with rivet. So what I'm going to use to get rid of the the rust, as we discussed in the past, this is the product I'm going to use. I'm just going to brush it in, and then we take it from there. Okay. Just shake this a little bit. Pour just a little bit here. The container just need a little bit. I don't need a lot. Okay. Now apply this to all the rust area. I don't want those rust come back again. I already get rid of a bunch of rust using that steel walls. Sand. It's like a sandpaper. After this dried, I'm going to clean it. I'm going to try to spray just this area. I will show you to protect the surface. Okay, it's looking good here. It's shaking everywhere. Make sure covered everything. Okay, let's sit for a while for all this rust come out, for the rust really dissolve. You want to make sure to read the direction here. All right. Okay, after just sitting for about, half an hour or less, really longer than 15 minutes, I'm going to try to, clean it with water. What I'm doing, I'm really not drying everything. Then I can't mask tape it. Then put a clear coat on this portion so the rust doesn't come back. All right. It's looking much better. I'm going to take this outside. Again, I spray some clear coat this area because I don't want the rust come back. Let's make go to that and come back. All right, take this, I put a clear coat. I clear coat, all of it is dry. And again, the reason I clear coat it so the rust does not come back, to at least put some protection. So what I will do, I'm going to remove all this. This is the glue I'm using. I'm going to fix the speaker, the cone. That's what I'm using. I add some water, and to this is a little bit of water, because usually it's too thick. So first let's remove all this masking tape. As you've seen before, this had holes. This speaker has some holes. So first I'm going to clean it, clean the cone. So let's remove this. All right. See, it still is dirty. And as you see, there's a big hole here, and also here. We're going to fix that. So I'm going to clean this with a little brush. All right, what I did is here I cut two small pieces of coffee filter, a little larger than these two holes. These two holes, as you see, there's uh, one here. Of course, the other one there is two holes. I pre-cut those, so I'm gonna install those here. So again, I'm gonna use this glue, which is add some water, and because usually it's too thick. All right. All right. Good thing about coffee filter is it's very thin, and also, you can make it to the shape that you're interested after is, so it gets a little wet, the glue get to it. I think good about this glue, it is flexible, so when it dry, it becomes flexible. It's gonna give you some strength to this cone. Just need to add just a little bit, not that much. Okay. I'm gonna add some here too, because it's so dry. This paper is pretty old radio, so this is gonna keep it at least more flexible. Really, it's gonna protect it. It dry pretty quick. I'm not gonna worry about here. It's so hard to get to. You look at other side. See those hold off flakes when they dry. I'm gonna put a little coating inside too. All right. So let it sit here for a while. And there's a big crack from here all the way down. So this glue gonna fix it. There's a big crack right here. I just noticed it. What I did this morning, as you see, I taped the speaker, and I use this product, just a little bit of sprayed it, so it get, make it look a little better. And just want to show you the end result. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all this. Not bad. I mean, this speaker was in very bad condition. Again, I do not have any other speaker to use, and this is, you know, the size that I can use. So I'm going to install this right here. This rivet. Okay, that's installed. It's never going to come off anymore. Very strong. All right. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some solder right here, so it'd be a good connection. So I'm going to clear. Use remember some clear coat. I'm going to clean that area a little bit. All right, to get rid of that clear coat. I just want to make sure that there's a continuity from here to here. And these coil wires are so short because they broke off. So I'm going to add some wire to it to get longer. So they're very short because, again, it's broke off the speaker. It happened in the shipping from person who I bought it. They shipped it and it broke off in the shipping process. This, as you remember, it came off. This legs to the speaker also came off. And that's why I have to use this method to fix it. I didn't want to solder it because it's not going to be as strong. This is pretty heavy. I'm going to fix it so it doesn't be an issue anymore. Okay. Okay, this is going to be one of them. Let's see, how much do I need? See here. And this should be fine. And everything is done. Soldering is done. It's looking good. Speaker is done. Everything installed. One thing I forgot to mention, all the wires, they are very bad condition, all cracked, comes off pretty easy. And I already replaced all others. This is the last couple of them I need to replace as well. And as you see, they are all the wires was like this. So that will be replaced too. These are all replaced. All was, as mentioned, replaced with a new one. Just want to forgot to show these earlier wires. They were all like this, not safe at all. So these two will be replaced. These are the last two. I'm going to replace all the capacitors. Even the radio was working perfect, but still I do not want to be issued on the road. Meanwhile, I'm under the chassis. It makes more sense to replace all the capacitors, and also those wires that we discussed need to be replaced as well. I'm going to show you what I do, how I install this actually inside the capacitors, inside all capacitors. I usually heat up this cheap soldering iron that I have, and heat it up just a little bit. And as soon as heat up, this is when it starts melting. First, I want to remove inside whatever is inside. Make sure to wear gloves because it gets hot. All right. The next, this screw, just screw inside a little bit, like that. All right. On the other side. As you see, the soldering iron now is pretty hot, so it's working pretty well. Again, make sure to wear gloves because it gets so hot. Something also, I can heat this up like that. I pressed, see, I pressed it down and it came out. That's also a quick way of doing this. All right. Then what I do, just quickly run this over, or even inside of it. Some cleaning, be able to read. All right. It's out. So inside everything is out. All right. After removing everything inside these capacitors, so get one of this, for the glue gun. It fit for the case. They're loose, that's fine. So usually cut a couple of pieces. like that. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want to put that hot glue gun inside to fill up, you know, that's too much heat. Let me show you what I do. I'm going to do one of them. Cut this like in half like that. Like this. Alright. Like in the center. Watch your fingers. See the blade go about halfway like that. Alright. One more. Again, halfway. I'm going to open this. This goes inside like that. Okay. That's why I cut it in. So you can bring it down as much as you want. Right here. I'm going to plug the same solder iron again. The purpose I'm doing this, just trying again to keep as much original as possible. I'm talking about when you look at under chassis. Alright. So as soon the solder iron heat up, I can actually heat this up and close it. So now I'm melting them. Okay. And you can take the excess off. Alright. It's done. Alright, I'm attempting to clean some of the tubes. They were very dirty. As remember, it was like something like a wasp, I believe, creates some type of, this all dirt, I assume. As you notice, was the same thing was in the radio. I had to clean. So I add some warm water with a little soap, and I already cleaned these tubes. And now I'm attempting to clean this one as well. So I'm going to soak it in the water a little bit. It's not all the way in up to here. Let's see if it brushing gonna come out or not. It seems like it's working, of course. There should be all dirt. Stay away from the writings, and I just clean in other area. Let's soak again. Wherever this radio was, I assume it was in the attic, because you saw the rat, got in and chewed it off thing, and also these are like a wasp, they got to it as well. And that's my assumption. This radio was stored in the attic. Alright, I cleaned all of them, and some of them came up pretty nice, cleaned up, very shiny. Then the soap cleaned all the dirt, and some pieces are like a rust area. I'm going to use this just to sand those rust off, like what I did with this one. And then I will show you how I fix this. So I have a pen, Sharpie. After clean it with the pads, sand, it's like a sandpaper in the pad. Then actually I use this Sharpie to cover so it doesn't rust. Remember, anything that is not covered, if it's just a dry metal, they're going to rust. So that's all I'm doing. I'm going to let it dry, then I do it one more time. Okay, not bad. Again, this is to protection so it doesn't rust. I'm going to let this dry. This Sharpie is pretty handy for this type of work. See, this one of them is in good condition. I have to clean it, no rust. You can actually see what type of tube it is. Came up pretty nice. The two others need some work. So it's like this area, it's rust. We'll sand it. Of course, this is second coat. It's very much better than the first one, of course. Okay. And now we are preparing to put the chassis inside, the case. Everything is done. What I'm gonna do before put it together, of course, use some of this to lubricate some of the knobs, and also volume control, and then put the unit back in the case. This is very great product, you know. It's an excellent product for this type of work. I use in transistor radio, I use in tube radios, and it works unbelievable. So first I want to use this for volume control. I'll just put a few drops in there. And of course you want to make sure this liquid get everywhere. Be very careful with the speaker so you don't put your fingers through it. Believe me, it happened a few times with me. We learn by doing those type of mistake, I guess. Also, I'm going to put some lubricant right here. Just turn it back and forth. So the lubricant gets everywhere. This is what it does. It helps, you know, with the volume control. Make your job much simpler. A few more drops. Because when I start this to make sure it's working, because I restored this a while ago, and the sound was not that great. All right. Also, we want to lubricate here too. There's a small bearing that is. That's for variable capacitor. Okay, I'll turn this around. Make sure to lubricate here too. These are lubricated, you know, and I make sure everything turns okay. And I don't want they freeze, of course. You know, because you're not using this all the time. So just want to make sure next time you want to turn it on, everything work perfect. So now it move much easier. Of course, I'm turning this around, so make sure lubrication get everywhere. Okay, this is the end result for this radio, and it's all put together, and it worked perfect. And this is how is the end result. Everything cleaned. Let's show you underneath. Very careful, don't drop it. As you notice, all the capacitors and at least two resistors was replaced. So all the wires that they were, you know, they were in bad condition. They were losing the insulation. You know, all the wire insulation was cracked. So I replaced all those wires, and that is the end result. It's looking very good, and it plays beautiful. It's going to take a little time to warm up. Let's see, that is on. Here it comes on.
ESPN Radio. By Progressive Insurance, guest on the Dan Levitard Show, appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your Sports Center update. The Mets.
It has a great sound, this radio. All right, it's working. Now let's put it inside the case. Turn it off. Turn off the entire unit. I don't want to touch the chassis. This is off. Voltage is off. Everything is off. I'm going to unplug it as well. Again, you should be very, very careful with this thing. Now I'm going to put them together. I was videoing on my phone, you know, the other thing. Hopefully I can add it to this video. Again, there's no electricity when I'm touching the, everything is disconnected. Be very careful. This can kill you. All right, now these two, they're going to merge together. Watch out with the speaker. Don't touch anything to mess up. I don't want to redo the speaker or anything else. I just want to finish this. It's been a long journey. My chain went through. Huh. Let's head in one of the capacitors. Okay, it is in. Put the screws in. Has it two smaller screws right here. Okay. There's another one in the corner here. The way they designed is very unique. Oh, before I put this, there was another part I need to put here. Originally, that was, this piece was here. They used that, so I'm going to just put it here too. Is it necessary? I don't know, but it was like that when I opened it. Okay, before I tighten it, I'm going to make sure the knobs are in the center. Yeah, they're in the center. I'm finishing this. All right. It's inside. Now let's plug it in and try it again. Let's put all this in again. I'm going to make sure this lined up. I love the colors. It's perfect. That's what I wanted. When I paint this black, originally it was black, something was off. And I like more wood colors. So I clean everything, put it in the paint thinner for a while. All the paint came off. And then All right, it's looking good. I really like it. Came up very nice. So remember, this was a piece of junk when I purchased this. It was in pieces. The tube was broken, the speaker was messed up, everything was on it was messed up. Okay, let's start it for the first time. All right, folks, this radio is totally finished and I started. Now it's warming up. In a few seconds, I'm going to turn it on, and it works unbelievable. And I'm so glad I restored this radio. I really love this, the design of it, all wood, include the knobs, and so it's totally done. I put the Coke can here so you see this radio is really small. This is just for comparison. Let me move it around, and it came out really, really nice. Let me show you the back. That's the back of the radio. And so as you know, majority of things in this radio was restored. So let's hear it. And it sounds unbelievable. Thank you for watching, through the process of restoring this radio. And let's listen to some, it's an AM, of course, there's not that many channels. So listen to some of this music in this. I hope you enjoy this, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I have over 300 radios. I'm restoring one by one, and I'm going to put it up pretty soon. Some of them, they're in great condition. Some like this, they're very bad condition. So we're going to restore it together. And again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You all have a great day.